All right, who we got next? We got a few more submissions and then we wrapping up. I think we got my guy Sean Campbell next. Let me get him pinned up. And then we got Sean and then Rodrika and then Mel's. All right, all right, all right. So let's jump into Mr. Sean. Hopefully it's not another
He paid my day, he paid my dues, paid it for like nothing to fret, nothing to lose, yeah. I can attest his love is true, love so deep, yeah. He is my rest, through and through, yeah.
You already know the double-edged blade ain't dull. Future, present, and past tense. My sins have been paid in full. On the throne he sits, my sin is null. Just like the void, life you can't avoid. He can't be destroyed, he comes from Detroit. Yeah. The lion resided atop Mount Zion, created every eye and every star like Orion. He made me a scion, he made me an heir. He bore every strike to save from despair. Perfect sacrifice, unblemished and fair. To the snake hung up in the desert we glare. Accursed is he who hangs on a tree. He took God's wrath so that I could be free. He paid my debt, he paid my dues, paid in full like nothing to fret, nothing to lose, yeah. I can attest his love is true, love so deep, yeah. He is my rest, through and through, yeah. He paid my debt, he paid my dues, paid in full like nothing to fret, nothing to lose, yeah. I can attest his love is true, love so deep, yeah. He is my rest, through and through, yeah. We presuppose the precipice of excellence is just repose. We reminisce and think of bliss, just as if it's juxtaposed to heaven's throne. Lessons ain't a title, no. That's what it's deeper than follow. Here for your sorrow, no need to borrow. He's given his parcel, his love is impartial. And while we were carnal, his love was impartial. Paul said by no means, but that don't mean the faith comes with ease. It's ugly to plead, I hate bending the knee. Humility is still so unnatural to me. I think it may be that I'm afraid to be free, but then again, who isn't? I pray that you don't miss it. It's hard to see when light seems so distant. A blind trying to lead the blind to find life despite lack of vision. His patience is something to which we've been numb. Our arrangement, it ain't been a favorable one. The payment is due and our time's nearly up. But our fate was taken by God's only son, the only one who could proclaim it is done, so that those known will be welcome home to eternally rest in the depths of his love. He paid my debt, he paid my dues, paid it for like nothing to...
Yo, Sean, thank you so much for submitting this. So is that you on the hook and on the raps?
Yeah.
Okay, and then who did the beat and the mixing?
So I've got a friend, Steve O. Thompson, up in Chicago who does it, but yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, overall, I really like it, bro. I think it's cool. I think it's different. I think there's definitely a lane for this, like, worship rap kind of approach, you know, that's modern. And I think that's really cool. Somebody pointed out, Oz pointed out, it's kind of like 21 Pilots early stuff. Yeah, I could hear that. Definitely has some, like,
I appreciate that.
21 Pilots influence. Yeah, I think in a good way. Yeah, I like it. I think there's a place for it in the marketplace. Again, of like this like kind of emo worship rap type stuff with some modern elements. I would say the only thing I would just give you feedback on is just probably keep buttoning up the mixing of this because it's so modern and mainstream that you really want to make sure that this is mixed well. So little things like automation when the beat breaks down, automate the vocal to come down. When the beat builds up, push the vocal up. Like little things like that, automation will make these mixes sound substantially better. So there were parts that the vocal just felt out of place volume-wise. And I think that is going to take like, okay, this is a competent mix to like, this is an excellent mix. And I feel like this style of music needs an excellent mix for it to slide through. And I don't even think it's anything you're doing wrong. I think your writing on this, it has a lot of depth and the vocabulary is really interesting. Yeah, I really think like once you get the mixing really polished, like this almost reminds me of some John Bellion stuff, except you have more rap stuff. But his mixing is so glossy.
His mixing is crazy.
Yeah. And so you gotta like listen to that, have your engineer listen to that, and I think it's gonna be a lot more of like the beats knocking, the automation on the vocals, and the way the vocal sits inside of the music, where the vocal could breathe, but like this vocal felt like it was on top of the music. I think you needed to sit within the music and the music to create space for the vocal, and that's going to require a lot of like specific EQing instrument sounds to create room for the vocal. So that would really be my only feedback, is like make sure your engineer is tapped into music that sounds like this, and has an ear for mixing this, because you can't just have, for this style, I don't think you could just have like a competent mix, because this isn't lo-fi. This isn't like an acoustic guitar and singing. Like this is a bit more produced than pop. And pop music is mixed in a very particular way. So that's really my only feedback. Like this sounds like a solid rap mix, but you need a pop mix on this. And that's mixed different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you so much. And I just wanted, for my first song, I wanted it to be more of like just the gospel.
Yeah, I love
sort
it.
of.
Yeah.
But for my next song, it's gonna be like fast paced, like hard rap. So like I want to be somebody who's like a jack of all trades, like very versatile.
Yeah.
You know, like I got the lyrics. You know, and if the beat's there, bro,
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. I will say that like if it's about building a career in music, this is gonna go. You being rapidy rap, super lyrical miracle, that's for the birds. If you're trying to build a career in music, this is what's going to sell. Like cool sounding white kid rapping about Jesus is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't overthink it. Like if this is what you like making, bro, make every song like this, and like you can flood the youth group market and like be very successful if that's what you want. So I'm just being
glory to God, man.
Yeah.
That's
And again, and if that's your heart, then dope. Like you don't have to be a mainstream artist. You don't got to be a rapidy rapper. Like if you find contentment in making this kind of music, there's a huge void of this in the marketplace. And I'm not even talking about NF. Somebody referenced NF. I'm not talking about NF. I think NF makes, in my opinion, rather cringy, emo, depressed music. I'm talking about this. This sounds like 21 Pilots. This sounds like John Bellion, sorta, but it has a worship element to it. And there's not a lot of stuff like this being made. Where are you based out of, Sean?
So I made that while I was in New Mexico, but I just moved to Oklahoma.
Yeah, so you're centrally located. There's probably 100 youth groups within 100 miles of you that you can just go and crush at. You know what I mean?
There's 3 colleges in the town that I'm in.
Yep.
3 Christian colleges. So
there you go, bro. There you go. That's the path. If you want this to be a career or a ministry of music, that's the pathway. I wouldn't overthink it, because what happens is people will find something and then they'll want to start trying to be something that they're not. And this sounds so natural for you that like you don't need to be NF, you don't need to be Andy Mineo, you don't need to be your other favorite white rapper. Like you don't need to be the Christian Jack Harlow. Like you just need to do this and do this well, because that's what's going to start spinning. Is you're going to be like, oh, I could do all this other stuff, and it's like you can, but if the objective is I want to make a career doing music for Jesus, this is it. Just do this 10 times over and over. Release it once a month on Spotify. Make sure you submit it properly for editorial playlist. And I'd say after 10, 12 releases, you'll have some good momentum behind you.
Wow, thank you so much.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you go, man. Great submission. You're onto something. Don't screw it up, okay? Don't screw it up, because that's what most Christian rappers do, is they